Hi guys, Isha this side and I hope you are doing well. Today I am talking about conditional formatting but using a DAX measure. We all must have used formatting in some way or the other, but how this is different, so let me show you that in this video. Before I begin, first I want to show you some visuals. So if you see here, these two visuals are exactly same, just that one on the left is the basic one and the one on the right has conditional formatting applied to it using a single DAX measure. So the rule defined is if sales exceeds your target, show it in green, else show it in red. Looking at this visual, we can clearly identify the regions that are doing good and the regions which are underperforming. The same DAX measure has been used to apply the conditional formatting in these two visuals. You can choose to change the background color or maybe the font color depending the way you want to present it. Also, you can do it in your tables, changing the font color or maybe the background color of any of the columns. Again, the way you want to present it, or that depends upon the info that you want to convey. Creating a DAX measure and using it on your visuals provides better flexibility. You may want to use the colors or define the rules that are not there in built-in options. So definitely this one is a preferable option. Additionally, if there are multiple visuals and you want to change the color code across all those visuals, maybe you did the green, like this one particular green, you want a specific green, then by giving the hex code in your DAX measure, the same will be applied to all your visuals. So in this way you can customize your DAX measures and accordingly present your visuals. Also, you can define custom colors. Maybe you want a specific blue, specific reds as per your company requirements or something. Then you can put it in your measures and accordingly your visuals will appear. So conditional formatting really helps to spot or bring into notice any particular information that needs to be conveyed in any particular font size, color, icon, etc. This feature is really helpful and comes handy. So let's explore some of the ways where we can use this feature. Before I start, I want to give brief explanation about my table. So this is sales table. It has 4 columns: date, region, sales amount and target. 100 rows of data just to keep things simple. So coming to report view, let me first create 2 measures, which is total sales and total targets. So I'll create new measure from here. Name it as total sales. Total sales is nothing but the sum of sales amount column, and likewise total target is the sum of target column. Now I'll create a measure that will be used for conditional formatting. Again, creating a new measure from here, naming it as sales color. I'm getting a very basic rule, that is if my total sales is more than my total target, then give me green color, else give me red color. Let's apply this in few of the visuals. First, adding the table, adding region as one of the columns, total sales, total targets, and let me add sales color for now. Formatting it a bit. So if you see, there are 2 regions where sales exceeds your targets and 2 regions which are underperforming. Now let's introduce this color in conditional formatting. First, selecting the visual, going to format, then going to cell elements. I can select which column I want the formatting to be applied to. Let me select total sales for now. Again, it's giving me option to change the background color, font color, bars, icons. Let me change background color basis the DAX measure I created. Clicking on button for background color and then changing the format style to field value, and field should be based on sales color. Clicking OK. So if you see, as per the rule I defined, the areas where sales is more than target, that are highlighted in green, rest are in red. I can remove the sales color and total target for now. These 2 columns serves my purpose. Supposedly I don't want this particular green, then I can choose to change that also. So I can provide hex code in my DAX measure instead of the green word that I have provided. Let me select the hex code from here. I want this particular green. So I'll copy the hex code from here, going to my DAX measure and changing from green to this hex code, and you see the color of the green changes to light one. So this way I have more flexibility to change the colors, the rules, depending upon my requirements. Let's do this in one other visual, say KPI card. Adding total sales. Again, going to format. I can change the font color depending upon the rule defined in the measure, or maybe the background color also. So to change the font color, I can go to format, call out value. Again, changing the format style to field value, and it should be based on sales color. See, the font changed accordingly. Red means my sales is not meeting my target, which is the case here. Red means my total sales is not meeting my total target, which is the case here. Now let's use the same DAX measure in another visual. This time I am inserting a column chart, region for x-axis and total sales for y-axis. Change the formatting, again selecting the visual, going to format, selecting columns, and then changing the color as per my DAX measure. Selecting field value for format style and sales color for the field it should be based on. We can identify that regions East and South are doing better than regions West and North. Conditional formatting really helps to identify any patterns, outliers, or highlight any info that needs to be conveyed to your target group. Let's explore another case where I'll create another DAX measure for the range of sales value and accordingly define the rules. This is the new page. I'll create a new measure from here. Naming it as sales range. You will use the switch function. I'm defining my sales range and accordingly provide me the color. So if my total sales is say less than 10,000, then give me red. Less than 30,000, then give me blue. If total sales is less than 50,000, give me yellow, else give me green. This is the measure that I have defined for the range of different sales values and accordingly provide me the color. Bringing the same into our visuals, I'll add table, region as one of the columns. Now let me add quarter, sales range and total sales. Formatting it a bit. Now adding these colors in colors format only in this visual. So again I selected this, I'll go to format, cell elements, maybe applying it in quarter column, changing the font color this time, changing the format style to field value, this time it's sales range, and see the font of quarter column has changed accordingly. So any sales exceeding 50,000 has to be in green, which is correctly showing up here. The tool has identified this particular green as green color, this particular blue as blue color. Assuming I don't need this particular blue color but I want some other blue color, so I can change it by giving the hex code. Again selecting the hex code from here. Maybe I want this light blue color, so I'll copy the hex code from here and change it in my DAX measure, which is sales range. So if you see, the dark blue color has changed to the light blue color. Removing this column for now since not required. In cases where our dashboard is very compact and we don't want the users or target to dig deep into the numbers, we can definitely use this feature, and I can choose to remove total sales in that case also. It just gives you a range that your sales are really high, it will be in green. If your sales are really low, then it will be in red, on the rules that we have already defined. You can also explore this feature by creating different kind of DAX measures and use it in your visuals. So I hope you guys find this video useful. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.